I'm sure plenty of high achievers aren't even aware that they're dealing with fear. And I'm going to offer some light bulb moments today. Let's see. There we go. High achievers and fear. Come on in and get ready to learn. Okay. Here we go, folks. All right. Wait, no, one more thing I need to set up here. All right. So a whole lot of high achievers, those are like, executives, entrepreneurs, even athletes looking to obtain some high level, obviously Olympians, and, high achievers. They're in every neck of the woods. They're in every arena. And today I want to talk about what a whole lot of high achievers do not fully realize. And it is affecting their life. It's affecting their peace. It's affecting their success and even the quality of their performance. And it's this, a lot of high achievers are not only driven by ambition, standards, and vision, a lot of them are also being driven by fear. There's a light bulb moment to have there. And I want to be really clear about that, because this is not just, oh, well, I'm driven and that's the only way I'm going to get somewhere. What if there was fear underneath it? So this is not just a little perspective shift that you're going to have here. This is a really different path to get you from where you have been and how you've been functioning in your work and in your life to where you want to go. And that fear as a vehicle has not been getting you there, right? Fear does not get you to where you want to be. And I'm going to offer you insights and perspective and a mindset shift that will help you to realize that there's a different way to get from where you are to where you want to be. And that's, having huge success and achieving some of your greatest goals. So a different path, a different level of life and different level of performance, because most high achievers, they think the way to get from like where they are now, stressed, driven, mentally full, always carrying, always pushing, always trying to stay ahead, rarely fully at peace, from that to where they want to go, like successful, fulfilled, deeply clear, powerful, steady, and actually able to enjoy their life. They think they're getting there by pushing harder and doing more and controlling more and staying more vigilant and never letting up. That's the vehicle that they've been using. And for many people, that vehicle is not actually getting them where they want to go. It may get them results. It may get them accomplishments. It may get them movement, but is often not getting them peace, and it's not giving them consistent like joy in their accomplishments. So what is often, it's not getting inner freedom. It's not getting them sustainable high level functioning. It's not getting them the deeper quality of life that they actually want. So the opportunity I want to show you today and to help you with that mindset shift is that the real path to higher performance and a better life is not more fear-driven pushing. It is healing the fear that is quietly driving the pushing in the first place. And that's a rare opportunity. That is the real path. And that's why what I do works so well, because it's not just about getting people to perform more. It's about helping them operate from a better place, a clearer place, a freer place, a more powerful place, a place where they no longer being run by fear and calling it success. And if I had to give you the one big domino for this whole live, it would be this. If fear is quietly driving your success, then more external effort is not the real path to the life and performance that you want. The real vehicle to get the life and the achievements and all that you want is healing the fear and changing the inner patterns that are running you. And that is the big belief, because once somebody really gets that, then my work makes obvious sense. Because now they understand that what they need is not just more effort, they need a different inner operating system. And I care so much about this because I've seen so many high achievers who are incredibly capable. They have, they're super impressive. They have incredible discipline, and yet internally, they are not living free. They are living pressured, braced, tight, mentally loud, always carrying more than they need to, always staying one step ahead because fear is quietly telling them that they have to. And they often don't call it fear. They call it drive or responsibility or standards or work ethic or ambition and leadership and discipline. And yes, some of those things are real and they can be healthy, absolutely. But many times underneath all of that is fear of not enough, fear of falling behind, fear of disappointing people, fear of losing momentum, fear of not being in control, fear of slowing down, fear of what will happen if they stop gripping so tightly, fear of who they might be without the pressure. And that's the epiphany, because a lot of high achievers are not just pushing because they love excellence. A lot of them are pushing because fear is still in charge. And that matters because fear changes everything. It changes how you think and how you interpret, and it changes how you carry responsibility. It changes how you experience success. It changes how much peace you can feel. It changes whether you ever really arrive inside your own life. And I think one of the saddest things is when somebody builds a lot outwardly, but still cannot feel the inward freedom they thought they were working towards. And that's a clue. That's a clue that the vehicle they have been using is not the true one. So let's break down. I want to give you 3 secrets. The first secret is related to that belief system, where high achievers, they believe that they're going to get from where they are to where they want to be by more pressure, more urgency, more vigilance, more carrying, more pushing, more overthinking, more controlling, more never letting up. And that is the false vehicle. I understand why people believe that that's going to get them there, but this is what's behind, well, why people say money can't buy happiness, right? So that's a false vehicle to get freedom and peace and joy of the success that you're thriving for. Because fear-driven effort, it does get rewarded. Sometimes pressure produces output. Sometimes control produces short-term results, but it does not usually produce the full life that people actually want. It does not produce inner peace. It does not produce deep fulfillment. It does not produce emotional freedom. It does not produce the highest quality of performance. And it definitely does not produce sustainable success in the way that people imagine it will. Because fear can drive performance to a point, but it will quietly tax clarity, joy, relationships, health, and higher functioning. And that is why the old vehicle is not enough. And the true vehicle is different. The true vehicle to get you to that beautiful, successful life that you want, um, where you have happiness and abundance, right? The true vehicle is healing the fear, changing the thought patterns, retraining the inner beliefs, loosening the mental grip, and learning how to function from a better state. That's the real vehicle. Not just doing more, thinking differently, operating differently, changing what is running you. That's the mental game. That is why what I offer is so different and so rare, because I'm not just helping people to be more productive, I'm helping them to stop being run by the very thing that is quietly stealing the quality of the life that they are trying to build. And that is powerful, and that is not common. And the second secret that I want to share is related to how people, including yourself, um, may be thinking things like, maybe this is just how I'm wired, or maybe I'm just naturally intense. Maybe I just work this way. Maybe I need pressure to perform. Maybe if I relaxed, I'd lose my edge. Maybe I can't function any other way. Maybe this works for other people, but not for someone like me. And I really want to slow this part down, because a lot of people are calling something personality that is actually fear-based patterning. That is a huge difference. Not personality, but pattern. If you look at it that way, a pattern of pressure, a pattern of urgency, a pattern of over control, a pattern of overthinking, a pattern of bracing, a pattern of being driven by fear and calling it strength. And if it is a pattern, then it can be changed. And that's the good news, because then the question is not, what is wrong with me? The question becomes, what has been running me? What have I been rehearsing? What fear am I still obeying? What inner pattern have I mistaken for identity? And that's a very different conversation. And that is exactly why this works. It helps people, because I help high achievers to understand what fear is doing underneath the surface, how it is shaping thoughts, habits, beliefs, patterns, programming, how it affects performance and clarity and fulfillment and peace, how subconscious reinforcement keeps it familiar, and how to retrain it at the root. Right? So no, this is not just for naturally calm people. And no, this is not just for people with easier lives. This is not just for people who are less ambitious than you. This can work for you, right? And then the third secret that I want to share is related to, you're thinking like, I'd be peaceful if life were easier. If my team were better, things would be good, right? If the business slowed down, if my family needed less of me, if I had more certainty, if the season weren't so demanding, if the world weren't like this, if I had fewer responsibilities, then everything would be great, right? And yes, life circumstances absolutely matter, but the outside is not the deepest blocker, because I have seen people with full lives, demanding lives, important lives, still begin changing from the inside out when fear loosens. And I've seen people with plenty of external success still feel trapped internally, because fear is still driving everything. And that is why the external condition is not the full issue. The issue is deeper than the circumstances. If fear is still running the interpretation, the body, the decisions, the pressure, the identity, then a person can stay suffering even while accomplishing things, even while achieving some goals. And that is why the real work is changing what is running you inside the life that you have. The real work is changing what is running you on the inside of the life that you have. That is freedom. That is where healing starts. That is where higher performance starts also, because when fear loosens, clarity grows. When fear loosens, peace grows. When fear loosens, presence grows. When fear loosens, people become able to access a more powerful way of functioning. So now let me make this practical. So the next time you feel pressure, urgency, over control, or mental heaviness, I want you to ask, what fear might be underneath this? Am I afraid of falling behind? Am I afraid of not being enough? Am I afraid of what happens if I stop gripping? Am I afraid of losing control? Am I afraid that if I'm not hard on myself, I'll lose momentum? And that question is powerful, right? And then ask, is fear driving me right now? Or am I operating from clarity? And that question alone can wake somebody up fast, because many people have been listening to fear for so long, they have mistaken it for leadership or responsibility and drive. So now let's transition from all that. If this is resonating, then you already know this goes deeper than productivity advice, right? This is about the inner force that has been running your life. So, what has been driving the pressure? What has been shaping the way you think and work and interpret and respond and carry everything? What has been quietly costing you peace and clarity and a higher level of performance? And that is exactly why I created what I have for high achievers, because understanding these concepts and this concept, it is powerful, but having a full system to retrain your thoughts and your habits and your beliefs and your patterns and programming is what changes things much faster and much more completely. So this is what I want to share with you as a high achiever looking for a better vehicle to get them to the level of success and freedom and an enjoyment of that success, right? So I have I have one online course, but it comes in two options. It's either the main or the optimal. The main option is a monthly subscription path. And inside that, you get my exclusive framework that I've created for transforming the mind and the habits and the beliefs and the patterns and the program. There's 21 video lessons. They're each around an hour and a half to 2 hours. There's one hypnosis audio that's a training tool throughout the entire program. The Mind Mastered Collective, that's a private community that you get to join, and there's all sorts of, like-minded people in there. Direct access to me through community support, lives, exclusive content, group sessions throughout the month. And then there's scheduled every month a dialogue with Dawn Live. That's live Q&A. That's a group call. And then there's years of recorded dialogue with Dawn replays. So that's the main, and it's a monthly subscription. And then the optimal, this is the deeper lifetime access path. So versus, month by month, this optimal, it's lifetime access. So that includes, the full 21 lesson framework, lifetime access, lesson specific hypnosis audios. So dozens of hypnosis audios instead of just the one, that are lesson specific, that helps you to take the information of each lesson and it goes deeper into your subconscious and is more quickly actionable in your life. The Mind Mastered Collective, again, which is the private community, and direct access to me in the community with lives and the group sessions and the monthly dialogue with Dawn Q&As that are scheduled the first Thursday of every month. And then a full replay library of 4+ years of dialogue with Dawn monthlies, right? So all this matters because I want you to know that there are these two options, the main and the optimal, because some people, they want the monthly entry point, and some already know they want the full system, full of hypnosis support and that lifetime access. So that's the stack. And you're not just getting information, you're getting a complete framework, subconscious reinforcement, a community, direct access to me, live support, and the years of replay support, those Q&A calls that have been recorded every single month for 4+ years, and they help you to stop using fear as the hidden engine of your success and start building a better inner way of living and performing. So if this speaks to you and you're tired of outward success and costing you your inward peace, this is the time to step up, right? You don't want to be one of the ones that's, money can't buy happiness. You want them both, right? Peace and happiness and abundance and wealth to achieve your goals. So choose the level that fits you best, whether it's main or optimal. You'll find those on my website, dawngrant.com. Just, the start here, the drop down says success, peak human performance. And you just scroll down a little bit and you can pick either the main or the optimal, because a lot of suffering stays in place because fear stays in place. And when fear starts loosening, then healing can move. It can finally move. And when healing moves, your life and your performance can change in ways you may not have even realized were possible before. So let's do this together. Let's bring you abundance and success with joy, not with misery, not with heartache and pain and stress and everything else. Like success happily and joyfully. All righty. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you here next Tuesday for the next live. And be sure to reach out. You got info@dawngrant.com if you have any questions. You could follow me because I post daily tips. And also dawngrant.com is where you'll find all of that information, all my products and services for success, peak human performance. I'll see you there, folks. I'll see you. And how about all of that stuff?